Hey guys, we're back with another unboxing and assembly of a 1/72nd scale diecast model, and this time it's Hobbymaster 5808, a Lockheed F-117A Nighthawk Midnight Reaper. So let's check out the box and go ahead and get things going. Everything is your typical Hobbymaster box. We will rotate it around so you can see all the edges and all the nice, pretty pictures. And there's always the flip lid with a piece of tissue paper, and there is the Nighthawk. You can see there's the landing gear covers, the ordnance, and the stand inside, and we'll get those all out and show it to you one by one. Not to mention all the details of the real F-117. So we'll pull this out. Pretty standard. All of the pieces are inside, sandwiched in between the two pieces of plastic, except for there's a bag with the stand, and you can see right in the front there's also a bag on the inside with ordnance, a piece of the stand, and the main landing gear covers for when they're down. So I just opened up the display stand and show you the three pieces. There's the base, the vertical part, and then what I'm calling the cradle that actually cradles the plane. And then there's the little tool, which I always believe is to open up the canopy. This plane comes with two canopies, a closed one and an open one, as you can see in this photo, and we'll show a closer picture of that, and we'll install both of those for you. So the two pieces of plastic are held together with 4 pieces of tape, and you're seeing me going around the edge cutting these. We'll cut the tape and open her up. These pieces are pressure fit together and it just takes a little bit of force to get them out. And there is the Nighthawk. So I'm just going to get my cutting mat to maybe help with as I'm getting all these pieces out. And lesson learned, do not pull from the tail or the nose. Hobbymaster always puts in thumb places or finger holes to pop out the model, as you saw me do right there. And so now we have the plane out. It looks beautiful. I have my white cotton gloves on just to try to keep the model looking as nice as possible, but here's some good close-up views. We'll flip her over and you can see the ordnance bay and the 3 places, the nose gear and the main gear. We'll get a cloth to set this on while we get all the pieces out. I didn't really need to use a pair of tweezers, but I was just, I guess, being fancy. But those are the closed gear doors. That is the open gear doors. We'll get the main gears out. 2 main gears, and near the top, they're both marked left and right, so you'll be able to see which ones are which. Here comes the nose wheel. These next 3 pieces are the gear covers when you want to display the model with the gear retracted or the gear up. So those are just doors that snap into place. Next we have the raised canopy, and it's just the way it connects. It's a different angle. We'll show that in a second. And then a little pilot. And here I'm cutting away the bag that's underneath the bottom piece of plastic. This has 2 sets of ordnance, a piece of a plug for the stand on the bottom of the plane if you don't want to have that open hole. And then at the very top there, you see there are the main gear covers that you would install if you have the gear down. And we'll show those installed in a second. All right, so let's get the plane up on its gears. We'll start with the nose wheel. And if you have other Hobbymaster planes, you'll notice that a lot of these parts are just pressure fit. Some of them are a little bit tough to get in, and you're kind of playing with fire because you don't want to put too much pressure because these parts they seem a little bit delicate. So just take your time, and they all have places to go in, and be careful, and they'll insert in just fine. So we got the nose wheel, and we're working on the main gear. And again, those are marked left and right. You'll be able to see. And we'll go ahead and set this down on the landing gear. And at first I thought it was off balance and it would sit up, but it's balanced nice and sits just fine on all 3 gear. So out of the box, the plane comes with the closed canopy. And then we have the pilot and we have the gear doors. I'm going to use these bombs for ordnance. We have the little stand plug. If you're not using the stand, those are the closed gear doors, and those are the main landing gear doors that will attach if you have the gears down. So there's the closed canopy, and the one that's separate in the box is open, and the little tab is just at a different angle, so it sits open. So you can see it just kind of sits open like that. And the pilot just goes in the cockpit like thus. And you're watching me assemble this for the first time and realizing where things go. So if you want that cockpit open and you want the ordnance on, and you want the landing gear doors, I would do everything on the bottom first because the cockpit doesn't really snap into place. It's kind of barely pressure fit in there. So do everything on the bottom. Here I'm attaching the main gear doors that are open when the gear are down. You can see I'd already inserted the open ordnance bay door. And I found, you'll see, I'm going to take it off. It's a little bit easier to put the ordnance in with that door not there. And just put that in as the last step. Because you're kind of running out of finger room there. So yeah, take that out. Go ahead and insert your ordnance. These were a little bit tough for me. And you can see I'm struggling just a little bit. But they'll go in. And it's actually a little bit easier to get one of these attached, and then the other one is tougher because you have less room to work with. So take your time and they'll go in. And then finally you can replace the open gear doors like such. So now we have everything on the bottom. We can put the pilot back in, and if we're on the ground, the cockpit's open, choose your cockpit here. There's a lot of really nice detail on this plane. Even the green and red lights on the wingtips. Very nice detail. Very nice looking plane. A lot of attention. A lot of work went into these, and it's for people like us, we appreciate this stuff. So let's take everything off the bottom and we'll put it into a gears up scenario and put it on the stand and let you see how that goes. So we're just gonna pull everything out. Again, be nice and gentle. Usually just a little bit of a wiggle, these things come out. But don't force anything, take your time, and you should be good. So the covers are just pressure fit. They're pretty easy to figure out which ones because they only fit one way. So you have a cover for the nose gear, two covers for the mains. Now the cover for the ordnance bay is a little tricky, and that's definitely, it's funny because there's 4 posts that you would think they go into 4 holes and just kind of snap in, but there's nothing to receive those posts, and it seems to be just pressure fit. So you'll see me when we get to that. I struggle just a little bit, but we get it in. And actually, there's a notch on the top or bottom of the closed gear door, and I couldn't tell which way it goes. It doesn't look like it. I couldn't tell which way it needs to go. I got it to fit with that notch facing forward. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. So let me know in the comments if I got that wrong. Beautiful thing is that it will just pop off with that tool, and you can replace it. So now with a clean undercarriage, we'll get the stand out, and the peg in the cradle goes to the rear, and that goes into a receiving hole on the bottom of the plane, and you just set it upright, and there she is. Oh, can't forget the canopy. And this is funny, I actually put the open canopy on. I was like, look, I'm supposed to be flying, the canopy's not open, so let's get the closed canopy on here. And there she is with gear up. So whether or not what you think of the F-117, a lot of people love it, a lot of people don't love it. I really like how it looks. It's one of my favorite planes, even though, you know, it's a subsonic plane, but really had a role in its duty. So I'm really like looking at it, and I'm really going to enjoy this display model for years to come. So guys, hey, thanks for watching my video. As I'm really selective with the diecast models I get, and the more I get, I'll just go ahead and film them unboxing and putting them together, and I hope you guys enjoy this. So we'll see you next time for the next model.